Got a new intro I'm going to show here. Well, that didn't quite play like I figured it would. All right. So I got a few topics I'm going to talk about tonight. Name of this stream is Taco Tuesday. So let's talk about it. Used to work in a restaurant. One of the chefs had a shirt that said that. Said, let's talk about it. I don't know. It's always stuck in my head. Anyway. So the other night, Frost had a good stream. He was talking about his friend, Skooma, that he red-pilled. And Skooma sounds like a really cool dude. And I think you did a good job, Frost, helping him to not end himself. Because it sounded like he was to that point at one point in his life. So yeah, that was a good interview. Great interview. It's a fire stream. Y'all should go check that out. Anyway, got in the chat was I was one of the ones trolling Father Saunders in the chat. Father Saunders wanted to know what train maxing entailed, and give you the straight up answer. It's just a goofy name that I came up with for this particular channel. I was just making a new channel and needed to come up with a name. Wasn't really thinking about it too hard. I knew at the time Hormaxer was around, so kind of wanted to troll him a little bit, but he's since disappeared before I started really making content. And sounds like he's in prison, so that's good. The train part of it has nothing to do with what some of y'all might think. It's just because I'm a rail fan, and my last channel had a rail fan theme to it. So been a lifelong rail fan. That's it. Nothing dirty about it. And I don't know, I might change my name again in the near future if I come up with something more appropriate. So, all right, got that done. All right, let us present first story. Share screen. Come on. Don't show this tip again. I don't need two monitors. Thank you very much. Which is it here? Ah. Was this the one? I think this was the one. I think this is the screen. This is what we're looking for. Oh, yes, this is the story. This is the story. Baby dies after accidentally being put in the oven. Woman charged. Prosecutor. I'm not sure. That's grammar. Prosecutor what? Prosecutor what? I mean, shouldn't there be like something else here? It's kind of an odd way to headline something. By Grant Flanders. Grant Flanders. All right. Kansas City mother has been... Wonders this is the same story, I think. I think this is the story. Kansas City mother has been charged for allegedly placing her 1-month-old baby in an oven, according to Jackson County, Missouri prosecutor John Peters Baker. On Friday, Kansas City police began investigating the suspicious death of an infant at a home. Initially, police were told the child was unresponsive, according to KTLA sister station WDAF. She was later pronounced dead at the scene. The next day, prosecutors charged the mother for allegedly killing the baby and putting the 1-month-old child in an oven. The mother, identified by officials as Mariah Thomas, is facing a Class A felony of endangering the welfare of a child in the first degree death of a child. Charging documents claim that when police arrived at the scene on Friday, they noticed the baby was badly burned. Prosecutors say a witness told them that the mother was putting her child down for a nap and accidentally placed the child in the oven instead of the crib. The fuck does that happen? In the oven instead of the crib. Okay. Got a video, looks like it's related to it.
Nobody in our neighborhood is.
Okay, back up. Come on, back
up. At a Kansas City home at 41st and Forest. Fox 4's Dave DeMarco is live at police headquarters with the latest.
Pause it. Okay, we don't need alerts from this.
Lauren, right now, police are calling this baby's death suspicious.
Oh, it's a little sus. Yeah, just a little. Seems a little sus.
Neighbors heard screaming, ambulances arrive, and then a baby's car seat carried from a home at 41st and Forest this afternoon.
Obviously, when 40 cop cars showed up.
Yeah, this is the story, because that was what this is the story I'm looking for. Yeah,
everyone was out here trying to figure it out and piece it together. He just told me that he can't tell me much, that there's an active death investigation inside the home, and that nobody in our neighborhood is currently in danger.
Right now, police are calling that death investigation suspicious. They say EMS was called on a baby not breathing, found the baby unresponsive. They rendered aid, but declared the baby dead inside the home. Police say they made contact with people.
That's kind of what happens when you get put in a fucking oven.
That were there. One neighbor showed us video of a visibly distraught person walking with police.
But I don't think that person that was crying and grieving was who caused it. I think whoever, they're not bringing out is probably maybe at fault. Who knows? I'm hoping not. That would be super sad.
Okay, and nobody cares about your opinion. Like, who is you?
And I should point out that police say those homicide detectives and crime scene detectives being called out is really customary. Any investigation like this is they want to collect all the evidence that they might need as they wait on the medical examiner's determination for the cause of death. But Lauren, they also are saying that they are in contact with the prosecutor's office.
Okay, that's enough of you guys. Okay. This is a quote. We appreciate all first responders who worked the scene and the prosecutors who went to the scene in order to issue these charges, Baker said in a statement. Baker was the prosecutor. Okay. That was the prosecutor. All right. We acknowledge the gruesome nature of this tragedy, and our hearts are weighted by the loss of this precious life. We trust the criminal justice system to respond appropriately to these awful circumstances. Authorities did not offer an explanation on how the mistake was made. Yeah, how you put your baby into an oven. Kind of a mistake. Especially if you turn the thing on, which I don't know, putting a baby in an oven that's not on, I don't know that would necessarily yeet it. But yeah, obviously turning it on would. And I'm assuming that must have been what happened. It must be the same video. Okay. Wait. I think this is done. Okay, cool. First story's done. No, we're not ready for this one. No, stop. Okay, it's loaded up. Cool. So, what do y'all think of that? If you thought that was bad, I got another one for you. Looking for that story, I found a nearly identical freaking internet. All right, share screen. This next story, is a one-up of that last one. Here we go. All right, get out of here.
New developments: a mother accused of killing her children and leaving them in an oven is preparing to fight for her innocence. Channel 2's Matt Johnson live in downtown Atlanta. Matt, prosecutors revealed more than a dozen charges against her.
And she remained quiet in court today as all 14 disturbing charges were read aloud. Prosecutors say she may have burned her own children to keep investigators from knowing how they really died.
Caused the death.
Lamora Williams stood silent in front of a judge Monday, accused of murdering her own 2 children and leaving them in an oven.
Yeah, so this one did 2. This one did 2 of her own kids.
She stared at a prosecutor as he read the 14 charges against her, including 2 counts of murder. A grand jury indicted the 24-year-old mother last month for the deaths of her 2-year-old and 1-year-old sons, Keontae and Jacarter.
Keontae and Jacarter.
Police found the 2 boys in an oven October 13th in Williams's apartment in Southwest Atlanta.
Wait. Back up.
Her family members told us at the time, October 13th,
Come
in
on.
Williams's.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Keontae and Jacarter. Police found.
Hold it. Okay. Is that the oven in this truck? Okay. There's some unanswered questions here. If they were found in this oven and this oven was in this truck, how did they die? They did say something about I thought they said something about this lady put them in there to kind of mask the fact that she had murdered them, saying that they just got burned or something. I don't know. Why is the oven in this truck? I'm confused.
Found the 2 boys in an oven October 13th in Williams's apartment in Southwest Atlanta. Her family members told us at the time that Williams felt
Giving Hotlanta a new meaning.
overwhelmed as a single mother of 4.
When I saw that
Single mother of 4, gentlemen. Single mother of 4. That's why you don't fool around with single mothers.
I knew that was not my little sister.
Police say Williams first said a caregiver was watching the boys at the time of their deaths, but police later ruled that out. Williams pleaded not guilty Monday through her attorney to 4 of the 14 charges. The other charges, including murder, will be addressed at a separate hearing. At the time of her arrest, her family was concerned how long she would last in jail.
I just came from.
Well, I mean, you're going to female jail, so I mean, it's not like you're not going in there with, men. You're not, because, men don't take really kindly to people that mess with, kids. Yeah, if she went to men's jail, she would definitely probably be getting yeeted, but, whatever. She's not going to men's jail.
From the jailhouse to let them know to put her on suicide watch because she's going to kill herself.
Now, Williams will be back in court next Friday. Her attorney filed a demurrer motion this morning, which means that they could be challenging most of the charges, including murder, in court. Live in downtown Atlanta, Matt Johnson, Channel 2 Action News.
I know you found my kids dead in an oven, but I didn't murder them. Okay. That sounds like another story we're going to cover. Oh, 7 years ago? Holy shit. That sounds like an interesting story to cover later. I'm going to leave this pulled up. I'm going to stop sharing. There we go. I think we're going to call this segment Easy Bake Baby. Because that's what we've had 2 of so far. Tell me again how they're the more caring ones, the more nurturing ones. Okay. So I think we're going to call that a segment. All right. I think I'm going to take a little short break. All right, we're back. So I've been hearing a lot about this long distance hole puncher, let's just say. Long distance hole puncher user that went into Lakewood Church and Joel Osteen's establishment. And it's come to my attention that this person is a transformer. So several people have told me this. So let's see, I had to verify that for myself. So let's pull it up. Let's share that screen. Okay, here it is. We got 2 results here so far. Oh, we got Beanie Boy here. Got Beanie Baby, Tim Pool. Let's hear what he has to say for a minute. Haven't watched this clip yet, so. Okay, got a weird ad. Go away. Yeah. Skip. Bye-bye.
And a man was shot in the leg. We've got breaking news on this, so I'll just give it.
Not at the beginning. What the hell?
Yesterday, a far leftist entered Joel Osteen's church with a rifle that had Free Palestine written on it, opened fire on the churchgoers. Fortunately, I believe from the reports right now, nobody has died. However, a child who was with the far leftist was critically injured, and a man was shot in the leg. We've got breaking news on this, so I'll just give it to you straight from the Post.
Okay, far leftist doesn't mean trans. All right. That is kind of funny if that's true that the rifle says Free Palestine on it, because if such a person went to Palestine, they would give you free flying lessons off the nearest building. Hey, just saying, that's what they do over there.
Post-millennial. Joel Osteen church shooter, identified as Janesse Moreno, also went by Jeffrey. The individual who walked into Joel Osteen's Lakewood, Texas church on Sunday, pulled out a gun and opened fire, has been identified as Janesse Yvonne Moreno, 36. Moreno wearing a trench coat. Opened.
$36, even if it wasn't a transformer. Let's see if we can hear this. Even if it wasn't a transformer.
You don't have any eggs. No eggs. You don't have any eggs. No eggs.
That's facts.
You don't have any eggs. No eggs. You don't have any eggs. No eggs. No eggs. You don't have.
Okay, I won't torture you guys with that anymore. All right, let's go back to Beanie Baby.
opened fire when entering the church along with a 5-year-old child. Local news reports that multiple sources have said that Janess is suspected of being the armed woman who was killed at the church Sunday. Reports indicated that the shooter was female, but Moreno may have been male. Moreno was shot and killed by 2 off-duty officers. Moreno's weapon was emblazoned with the slogan, "Free Palestine." Jeremy.
Well, there it is. There it is. I guess it is a transformer.
Rogalski of KHOU TV further reported that Moreno had prior arrests for assault, forgery, marijuana possession, theft, evading, and unlawful carrying a weapon. They say Moreno also identified as Jeffrey Escalante. So,
in other words, a totally law-abiding gun owner, right? Right, Joe Biden? Right, Democrats? Totally law-abiding gun owner. Or not. Or not.
I don't know. There's numerous reports saying it was a female shooter. No idea. There's a distinction, obviously, between female and male. However, often when it comes to the corporate press, they will use female interchangeably with men and women interchangeably, and we don't know.
Yes, they will. That's true.
Janess Moreno went by Jeffrey Escalante Moreno, among other aliases, and was from El Salvador. The child Moreno bought
from El Salvador. Is this person even here legally? Oh, but that's racist to even ask. I forgot. Oh, stupid me. Go on.
Brought to the church, was shot and injured. The child remains in critical condition in a local hospital. 57-year-old man was also shot in the leg and taken to a hospital for treatment. Authorities searched.
Hold it. That said Democrats brag that they rigged the Super Bowl so that the Chiefs would win. I wonder why they would be making such a claim. Because we all know there's absolutely no cheating whatsoever in the NFL. Deflategate. Among other things.
Searched a home in Conroe that is believed to be associated with the shooter. Moreno openly discussed a love of weapons, firearms, and posted about cleaning an AR, showing off the weapons as well. I'm assuming they had an AR-15. Is that pulled out a gun? Okay, but what is it? The AR is the question. It had "Free Palestine" written on it. They're reporting, but I think it's an important distinction whether or not this person had the AR-15. Here are photos. Moreno also posted about giving money to Osteen's church and indicated that,
of course. And here's the advertisement right here for Lakewood Church. So you want to send some shekels to Joel Osteen? I'm sure he'd appreciate that.
Moreno had attended and was part of that church. So here we can see some various photos of the individual. However, I think it's safe to say the individual is likely a female. May have been a trans man. I'm not sure. Osteen spoke about the shooting, saying,
we're done with you. We're done with you waffling. We're done with you waffling, Timmy. Question I want to know is, why is it it's a good idea that these people are out walking around on the street? I mean, seems a little mentally unstable. Just saying. I mean, basically what this person did is essentially, self-ending with the assistance of cops, although in this case it was off-duty cops, and decided to take a few people with her. Fortunately, it sounds like she was unsuccessful in that endeavor. Other than the little kid got shot. I don't know if the kid died. All right, we're going to stop sharing this page. What else we got? No, we don't need the no eggs clip anymore. So there it is. Lakewood shooter was a transgender. All right, we got one more. Oh, let's share this screen. What the heck? Oh, no, it wasn't going to share that. Okay, never mind. Let's see. We got one more news story here. My dad watches Stuart Varney every morning when he's getting ready to go to work on Fox Business, and he was covering this story here. This is from the Washington Post, or as a certain somebody on talk radio likes to say, the Washington Compost. Opinion: why giving roses on Valentine's Day, or any day, is a really bad idea. Now, I will agree, on principle, it is a waste of money, and certainly as a MGTOW, I see no purpose to it, other than it's a cash grab for all these, big corporations. But anyway, this is by Amanda Schindruck. Okay. Illustrations by Michelle Hondrich. Yeah, sounds like two people who shouldn't get no roses for Valentine's Day. Here's an unromantic question for Valentine's Day. Can we live without roses? Yes, they are the most popular cut flower around the world, and that's no wonder. The blooms are stunning. Roses are all right. I've seen prettier flowers. Just my opinion. I've seen better smelling flowers. Just my opinion. But the daily, nonstop global race to get just cut roses from greenhouses to your front door makes them punishing on the environment, which means it's time to think differently. Is it? Oh, isn't that cute? We got a little animation thing following us here. Isn't that cute? 80% of the flowers sold in the U.S. are imported, mostly from Colombia or Ecuador. A rose takes up to 15 weeks to grow, but as soon as it is cut, a precisely coordinated race begins. To keep them fresh, the flowers are chilled in a dormant state and then moved to airports in refrigerated trucks. At the airport, they're loaded on a plane bound for Miami. Oh, isn't that cute? During the weeks prior to February 14, more than 30 flights will move flowers from Colombia to Miami every day. A lot of damn roses being moved. About 4 hours later, the roses land in Miami. They are moved into chilled warehouses and inspected by U.S. Customs. For what? They're roses. Wait, they can have like aphids on them? What are you inspecting them for? They're then loaded onto refrigerated trucks for delivery across the United States. When the roses arrive in stores, as little as 48 hours have passed since they were picked. I wonder what Polska Bob thinks of this story. Isn't he a florist? Isn't he a delivery driver for a florist? I wonder if he's seen this story. This fast-moving game of tripping over my tongue here. This fast-moving game of romantic commerce never stops. It's also absurd. I'll agree with you on that. It is absurd. Valentine's Day as a whole is absurd. How is it a day that's supposed to celebrate, I think it's like 3 saints that were martyred, and it's turned into a corporate be a blue-pilled simp and show how much you care for these chicks that aren't worth caring about. Let's see. The race required to provide a mass-produced bit of nature at any hour in any place for as little as $10 a dozen. I didn't realize it was that cheap. Contributes significantly to the destruction of nature itself. Oh no, what will we do? The roses are destroying the environment. Oh my God. Is this the War of the Roses 2.0? Airliners filled with flowers zip around the globe every day. Chrysanthemums from Colombia dash to Japan. Roses from Kenya end up in Britain. Carnations from Ecuador jet to Russia. Nearly all imported cut flowers go through the same emissions-intensive journey: climate-controlled greenhouses, refrigerated trucks, and a long, chilled flight. Fresh flowers are a $34 billion global industry with massive carbon footprint. Okay, all you simps, all you suckers, all you blue pillars, That's somebody's making all this money off of you guys. You guys are suckers. Compared with other perishables we transport around the world, flowers are perhaps the most damaging to the climate. The reason? Nearly everything else moves by ship, which has 1% of the carbon footprint of air freight. Blah, blah, blah. 2020 analysis of products sold in British grocery stores by climate expert. Are you really a climate expert? I don't know. This is a religion that you guys have, so I don't know if I'm going to call you an expert. You know, might call you like a bishop. I might call you a deacon or something, but you're not exactly an expert in what is your religion. So, you know, this is your guys' religion. This is y'all's religion here. This is not, you know. Anyway, found that a bouquet of imported flowers has a more significant impact than an 8-ounce steak raised on deforested land in Brazil and consumed in London. Well, there you go. There's the steaks. They've been saying steaks are no good, but they're saying roses are worse. Okay, well, give me a steak then. I'd rather have a steak than a freaking rose. How about that? I mean, I like roses. Okay, they smell nice, but I think I'd rather have a steak. Think I'd rather have a steak. They got a little diagram here. 9 pounds of, let's see, 2 pounds of rice, 2.2 pounds of rice, 9 pounds of carbon. They're claiming bouquet of Dutch roses and lilies and Kenyan Gypsophilia. Okay. 71 CO2. Okay, whatever. I'm sorry. How exactly do you measure CO2 in pounds? It's gas. It doesn't weigh anything. I exhale. I breathe out. It's coming out of my mouth and it's going into the air. It has no weight. How are you measuring it in pounds? Something that has no weight because it's a gas. How are you measuring it in pounds? Make it make sense. Steak, 8 ounces. They're claiming 39 pounds, blah, blah, blah. 6 bananas, 1.5 pounds. 8 pounds for CO2 for half a pound of strawberry from South Africa. Okay. Like I said, I'm not sure how you measure pounds of a gas. I don't know. That does not make sense to me. That's a mind fuck to me. How does that work? How do you measure pounds of a gas? And I need a little bit more sparkling water. For those who adore flowers, like my mom, this might come as a shock. Okay, well, your mom's probably not into this climate thing like you are. So, okay. Your mom probably is normal somewhat. She expressed concern when I told her about the supply chain. I see the harm, she said, but they're so beautiful. Yep, she's a normie. Yep, this gal's mom is a normie. Yep, for sure. I feel it too. Flowers play both real and symbolic roles in our lives. Aw, isn't that cute? They express emotion in a way few things can. Sympathy, love, regret, reverence, or just a simple gesture of care. Yeah, okay. We don't need to give that up. Well, okay. What do you mean we don't need to give that up? Isn't that what you just said? Isn't that what your whole article has been? Saying how bad they are and it's destroying the planet, but we don't need to give that up? Huh? There's plenty the industry can do to reduce its climate impact. Greenhouses should be warmed by renewable energy, which should get easier as countries diversify their energy sources. Well, okay, we still are not set up for electric cars and stuff and all that stuff. So, but now you want to make greenhouses do this stuff for the status, to appease your religion, basically. This is particularly important in the Netherlands, world's largest exporter of cut flowers. In that country, cloudy northern climate, Highly automated and energy-intensive greenhouses are the norm, the majority of which are powered by fossil fuels. You know, I've always wondered about that, how the Dutch ended up with so many flowers. I've heard about all the tulips and stuff that they were obsessed with back in the day, but I don't know, it's kind of weird, especially some of the stuff they grow isn't really suited for their area. Anyway, I think we've read probably about enough here. Sector needs to move away from air freight. Some companies are already experimenting with shipping flowers by sea. Well, there you go. I mean, I don't see why that wouldn't work. I mean, you could put a refrigerated container on a ship and ship it. I don't see what the problem is. What's the difference between that and a truck? I mean, when they land, they got to be in a refrigerated truck anyway. So what's the difference between that and putting it in a refrigerated shipping container and then putting it on the ship? There you go. Carefully controlling the atmosphere in the containers. It's possible for cut stems to remain dormant for weeks. There you go. It's better. There you go. It's better than air travel. There you go. Problem solved. Problem solved. There you go. Most Western governments have yet to require individual industries to reduce their reliance on air freight, but if lawmakers start issuing those orders, the cut flower industry should be among the first to be regulated. So there it is. There it is right there. There's a problem. Let's have the government fix it. Yep, definitely a woman wrote this article. That's for sure. Consumers can help to avoid roses, carnations, and chrysanthemums, the three species that make up the vast majority of imported flowers. The environmental impact, blah, 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 plummets when bouquet. The environmental impact of a bouquet plummets when the flowers are grown locally and in season. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Hardy with a long vase life, the big three species are perfect for cheap mass production and quick delivery around the world. Their success is a globally produced export means American growers can't compete. Instead, farmers in the United States primarily cultivate specialty flowers like sunflowers, dahlias, zinnias, and snapdragons. Didn't realize snapdragons were big in cut flowers. That's interesting. Sunflowers, they really that special? I mean, I grow them all the time. I mean, it's like, it's a sunflower. I don't know. They're more delicate and don't travel well over long distances. Well, I guess that's true. So, buy these flowers, blah, 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 less common names. Grown chiefly in California. Yeah, that makes sense. That's true. Small farms also cultivate them across the country, but it's significantly less likely they'll arrive via air. Sunflower, snapdragon, peony, zinnia, dahlia. Don't know how to say that. That Lisa Anthus, Cosmos, Sweet William, Ranunculus. Ranunculus? Kind of nice to look at, but cool. All right, I think we're done with that story. No, let's see here. Where are we? There it is. What else? Nobody's watching. Okay, I won't drop the link then. If I get doing this regularly, if people start watching this, the plan is I'm going to try and do this kind of more regularly on a Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. Let's taco about it. And the idea would be to be dropping the link and having people call in and stuff. But I don't think we'll do that today. I don't see. Wonder if I can get rid of this StreamYard comment. StreamYard comment's the only one that's up here. Wonder if there's a way to yeet that off of there permanently. Guess not. Cool. All right. last thing I was going to talk about was so there's this this guy he comes to our church sometimes, but usually it's just his mom that goes to the church, and usually his dad doesn't go, and none of his siblings go or whatever. But anyway, my mom and his mom got talking, and it sounds like he basically is AWOL. He thinks all women are like that, which is kind of I kind of suspect that might be the case. I mean, I know there's good ones out there because I've seen them get married young. Just hasn't been the right situation for me. So I know they're out there, but it's kind of like Bigfoot. I'm sure people say Bigfoot's out there. I've never seen one, but enough people say they have, and I'm sure they're not all lying. So I'm sure there are, some women that are not AWOL, but where these virtuous ladies are, I don't know. I sure haven't seen very many lately, if any. So basically, this guy almost sounds like he's already red pill, just maybe he's not familiar with the space. I don't know. So I kind of want to introduce him to this stuff as I get to know him. I mean, I'm not going to necessarily bring it up right away, but if I get talking with him and if we become kind of friendly, I might, if it comes up in conversation, I might mention it. Definitely don't want him going black pill because, obvious reasons. But if can kind of talk him into checking out MGTOW and seeing that as a viable lifestyle, and because obviously we're both Christian, kind of want to show him how it's consistent with the Bible, consistent with living a Christ-like life. And anyway, if any of you guys want to give me any advice on that, I would be happy to hear it, but nobody's watching the show right now, so I think I've just about said all I need to say. So, that being said, peace.